Welcome to the 2014-2015 Pickerington North and Pickerington Lakeview OHSAA Parent Meeting. The OHSAA is the Ohio High School Athletic Association, and that's the governing body for both North and Lakeview. Parents only need to watch this meeting one time during the 14-15 school year, whether you have students at North, Lakeview, or both, and no matter what season you're playing in, fall, winter, or spring. Information contained in this meeting will assist parents in understanding their role in athletics at Pickerington North and Lakeview, and also give you information on things such as what forms are needed, drug testing, eligibility standards, insurance, fees, etc. Let's meet some of the people you're going to want to know. At the time we're recording, the Pickerington North principal has not been named. The principal at Lakeview is Jeff Clark. The athletic director who will serve both North and Lakeview is Molly Fiesler. That's me. I'm also your narrator today. The administrative assistant in the athletic office is Jackie Earhart. And our head athletic trainer is John Freeman. Let's go over the fall sport offerings and high school head coaches for each of these sports. In the Pickerington system, the head coach serves all the athletes and oversees the program 7 through 12. In the fall, we offer cheerleading, cross country, football, golf, soccer, which is for high school only, girls tennis, and girls volleyball. Our winter sport offerings are basketball, cheerleading, swimming, which is high school only, wrestling, and we also offer bowling as a club sport for the high school. Our spring sport offerings include baseball, softball, boys tennis, track, and boys volleyball, which again, high school only. We also offer lacrosse in the high school as a club sport. Let's review some of the important OHSAA requirements. Number 1, students must live within the boundaries of the Pickerington Local School District. Number 2, students must have passed 5 one-credit classes in the preceding grading period. That applies to high school, where students are earning credits. High school students should not count physical education as one of those credits. The junior high rule is that students must have passed 5 classes. Phys ed can count here, but in the high school, it shouldn't be counted as a credit. For the high school, number 3, don't drop a class or change a schedule without talking to an administrator. That would include the principal, any of the assistant principals, or the athletic director. Number 4, the parents must live in Ohio. Number 5 also is a high school only rule. If a student changes schools after establishing eligibility in the 9th grade, the student will be ineligible for a year. If your student didn't start the first day of school here as a 9th grader, I need to see you or them as soon as possible. Students can also establish eligibility by participating in a scrimmage before the school year starts. This often happens for our fall sports. If you have a student that did not start 9th grade here or played in a scrimmage at another high school before coming to North, please contact Ms. Fiesler. Continuing with the OHSAA requirements, students are entitled to 8 semesters of participation once they enter the 9th grade. Those 8 semesters are consecutive. So once a student enters 9th grade, they've got 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, 4 years to play sports. Number 7, students in high school cannot turn age 19 or 15 in junior high prior to August 1st. If your student is 19 prior to August 1st for the high school or 15 prior to August 1st in the junior high, they are ineligible. And number 8, during the sports season, students may not participate on a non-school team in the same sport in which you're participating on a school team. Let's go over a couple of examples. If a student is on the North soccer team During soccer season, they cannot play on another soccer team, whether it's a church league or a club team. If a student is on the North soccer team and they also run track in the spring, they could also play club soccer in the spring. That's not the same season. Track and soccer, both in the spring, they're not the same sport in the same season. If they're playing a school sport, then they shouldn't be playing that same sport anywhere else. To view a short and entertaining video produced by Ohio High School Athletic Association, there's a link on the bottom of your screen now, and the video is about 15 minutes. Again, it's pretty informative on the Ohio high school rules. Let's review some of the Pickerington Local Schools requirements. Panther Talk books will no longer be printed. However, they are available on the school district website, listed on your screen currently. Let's talk through some of the forms that are necessary. These forms are available in the athletic office. Number 1, the pre-participation physical form. This is due the first day of tryouts or practice. Students will not be permitted to participate without having a current physical. This is for their health and safety. We want to make sure that a doctor has signed off on them being able to play the sport that they're getting involved in. Number 2, the blue card. This is due the first day of tryouts or practice as well. If your student becomes injured or incapacitated, we want to know what your wishes are on where to take them and who to contact. Number 3 is for high school only. Every high school student athlete has to complete a drug test, preseason drug test, one time per school year. So if a student plays multiple sports, they only have to do one preseason drug test per year. When they take the preseason drug test, there's a form that goes along with it, giving consent for the preseason test. Number 4, the gray card. This is for both high school and junior high students. Students are the only ones that can get the gray card, and they get that gray card by attending the student-athlete meeting held prior to each season. These meetings are also videotaped, and they can watch the meeting with their coach if they didn't actually attend the meeting. This gray card also now includes the travel release. We used to collect a separate form. Now it's all included on the gray card. And the last form is the concussion form. This is a relatively new state law. A concussion form is required to be completed for each season, not each year. If your student plays multiple sports, you're going to be filling this form out multiple times. Some of these forms are also available on the Pickerington Local School District website, and those are noted with an asterisk. Let's talk about high school eligibility. High school eligibility, number 1, a student must have a minimum grade point average of a 1.75 per grading period. Number 2, at interim check, they still have to have that 1.75, and they must also be passing 5 one-credit courses at interim time. Again, just a reminder, high school students and parents, don't count physical education. Number 3, must pass 5 one-credit courses at the conclusion of each grading period. Again, students, don't count physical education. A couple of other reminders. Post-secondary classes through colleges and universities or career center courses are great options for our students to get interested in a field that they have an interest in. However, they pose some hurdles with eligibility. And those are that the student is responsible to bring grades to the athletic office at the times when the Pickerington School District says are the end of the quarter and the interim. Those have been given to all head coaches and are also posted on the Pickerington Schools website. It's the responsibility of the student to get those grades, print them, and bring them into the athletic office from their college professors or career center. Pickerington North Athletic Department will not go to the universities or career centers and ask for grades. That is the responsibility of the student. The junior high eligibility standards are similar but not identical. The 1.75 must be maintained as a GPA. There's also an interim check, and students must be passing all courses at that time in order to continue participation. Students will be pulled out from participating until they're passing all courses. Students also must pass 5 courses at the conclusion of each grading period, much like the Ohio high school eligibility. Again, it doesn't matter what courses, it just has to be a total of 5 at the end of each grading period. At the time of this recording, the high school fees were $350 per athlete per sport, and the junior high fees were $175 per athlete and per sport. They could be a different price. You can check on the Pickerington Local School District website or consult your coach. Payments could be made in 2 payments, or they could be paid all at once up front. Half of the payment, however, must be paid by the deadline established by the district as the first payment deadline. The Pickerington Local School District website, under Forms and Links, and then Athletic Forms, shows these dates for the school year. The second half, again, must be paid by the established date, or students may be removed from playing on the team or practicing. If you think that you might qualify for a reduction of fees due to your income, applications for those are available in the athletic office or at the district office. Fees can also be paid in the athletic office or on the district website. They can also be paid over the phone using a credit card, but there is a small fee for that. We are lucky to have Ohio Health serving us to give us athletic trainers. Our head athletic trainer, as I said in the beginning of the presentation, is John Freeman. He's assisted by Aaron Sturgill. Our athletic training room hours at Pickerington North are from about 1:50 until the end of all sporting events for the day. The trainers don't hang out in the office much. Most of the time they're out on the field or court watching our athletes compete. Our team physician is Dr. LeMay. He's located at Max Sports Medicine, which is on 256 near I-70. Our athletic trainers can usually get a student athlete an appointment between 24 and 48 hours after they notify the trainers. And Dr. LeMay comes in about once per week to check on students that may have an injury or be in rehabilitation with our trainers to check their progress. If your student has an injury, they should report it to their coach and also to John or Aaron. And finally, this is a particularly important rule if you have a student new to school sports. If your student sees a doctor about an injury, that means they go to urgent care because they're injured, an emergency room, or even a family doctor. We have to have a note from that doctor that says when that student is clear to begin participation again. If we don't get a note from the doctor, the student won't be permitted to participate. Concussions are a hot topic, particularly after House Bill 143. That says that the form must be signed for each season of competition as previously stated. Signs and symptoms are headache, dizziness, lightheadedness, nausea, blurry vision, confusion, disorientation. If our coaches, officials, or our trainers recognize these symptoms, they may remove that student from participation. The student then cannot return to play on that same day. Anyone who's removed will have to go through a 5-step return to play exertion. This typically takes at minimum 5 days. At the high school, we do impact testing. We do this for all incoming freshmen and any other high school students that didn't take the test in the 13-14 school year. This is really a just in case your student has a concussion and how we can bring them back and what their levels should be before they're allowed to compete again. It's really a precautionary measure. Our Code of Conduct rules are 12-month rules. They're 12 months a year, 24 hours a day. Any conduct that results in dishonor to the athlete, the team, or the school won't be tolerated. The penalty for this could start at 10% reduction of participation and could go all the way to permanent suspension from the team or program. We also have training rules and regulations in regards to the use of alcohol, tobacco, and other drugs. This again is a 12-month rule, 24 hours a day. Upon a first violation, a student's participation is reduced by 50%. That could be lowered to 20% if they agree to attend approved counseling. Upon a second violation, a student would be suspended 1 year from athletics. This could be reduced to 50% with approved counseling. And upon a third violation, a student may be removed the remainder of their career. Again, this could be reduced upon an appeal and substantiated rehabilitation. For these violations, tobacco and e-cigarettes cut in half the percentages listed above. And finally, sale, distribution, or hosting automatically jumps students up a level in violation. For example, if a student has not had any violations and has friends over and somehow alcohol appears, whether the student is consuming it or not, they're considered as the host and they would jump to a second violation. As in most schools, we have an anti-hazing policy. We do not believe in hazing of any type. It's prohibited at all times, both on and off school property. By definition, hazing is any action taken or situation created by a student or group of students relating to the status or membership in a group that causes or is likely to cause bodily danger, physical harm, emotional harm, extreme embarrassment or ridicule, personal degradation, or loss of dignity. Our school district's attendance policies are as follows. Students who are absent from school and determined to be excused by the attendance office are permitted to participate in practices and contests. However, if students are absent from school and they're determined to be unexcused by the attendance office, they are not allowed to participate in practices and contests. We have random drug testing at the high school only. There's no excuse for a student not to show up. If the student is not at school for the day, we don't expect them to show up for the drug test. If the student no-shows for a drug test, they'll be removed from the team until they go pay for a test on their own and have the results sent directly to us. Students must bring a picture ID with them, either a school ID or driver's license, and most of these random drug tests will be held after school. Students will be notified with a piece of paper delivered to their 7th or 8th period class. The way we have students selected for the random tests is the company that we use is given the names of all of our athletes for that season with what sport they play. They generate a list via random selection, and those are the athletes that we test in that drug test. Students will remain in that pool of athletes of potential people to be tested until the varsity level team completes their season. This means if a student's season is over because they're on the JV or freshman team, but the varsity's team is still in the tournament, it's possible that as a JV or freshman player not participating in your sport, you may be called for a drug test. Students should still show up for that. If students are going to be gone for the weekend, out of town, please let your coach know so that we're aware. As in most things, there are inherent risks in athletics. We do the best we can to keep our athletes healthy, but by playing a sport, a student is exposing himself or herself to the risk of serious injury, including and not limited to the risk of sprains, fractures, ligament and/or cartilage damage, which could result in temporary or permanent, partial or complete impairment in the use of limbs. Could also result in brain damage, paralysis, or even death. Please understand that there are risks by participating in athletics, and by your student's participation, he or she is exposing himself or herself to those risks. That's why it is important for our students to listen to their coaches on the proper use of equipment, the proper techniques of their sport, and doing the right things in practice to stay safe. Let's touch a little bit on insurance information. Pickerington Local Schools does not provide accident or health insurance for any athletes that participate in interscholastic athletics. It's the responsibility and a requirement of the parents to maintain an active accident and health policy while their child is in sports. This is something that you've signed off on and filled out on the gray card, as well as the pre-participation physical. The school district does offer a supplemental accident insurance policy for a small fee to all students. The form and information should be available in any school office, including the district office. Now, a commercial on sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship is expected of all coaches, student athletes, fans, and parents. Good sporting behavior we expect to be practiced toward each other, toward opponents fans, contest officials, our coaches, and opposing coaches. Student athletes who are ejected by an official will be ineligible for two contests. That's only one contest for football. Remember that officials' decisions are final. And a quick reminder, officials are people too. They make mistakes from time to time. We're still in scholastic sports. We're not at the professional level, and most of our officials do the officiating for the love of the game, so give them a break. By paying admission and traveling to a contest or coming to a home contest, students or fans or parents don't have the right to criticize officials and or coaches. Please do what you can to support our kids, our teams, and your student. We have an extremely supportive booster club at Pickerington North. Even if you're a Lakeview parent, you can get involved with the booster club of your sport, which feeds into our big booster club. This booster club is a well-run organization that helps fund all of our athletics 7 through 12. This year's booster club president is Steve Hesch. It's always a good time to take a few minutes out and talk to your student about social networking and communication online. Students should communicate with coaches as such as an authority figure. They're not your friend. Please don't friend them on Facebook. We ask the same of the coaches. I'm not talking about Facebook pages that are set up specifically for a sport. I'm talking about a personal coach's Facebook page. When communicating with coaches, students should only communicate things that would be appropriate for parents, teachers, coaches, or Ms. Fiesler to see. On social networking sites, students should be cautious. Things that they post don't go away. If someone screenshots it, it's saved forever. Students should only post pictures, sayings, stories, information, etc. that would be appropriate for their parents to see, teachers, coaches, school administrators, principals, etc. We have outstanding facilities at North and at Lakeview. We want all of our students to take care of their things as well as the facilities that we use. Please remind them that in the locker room they should lock up all possessions. Nothing should be left on the floor or the bench. When things get left out, students think that it's up for grabs and they may pick it up either purposefully or by accident. We are not responsible for lost or stolen items. We have multiple teams coming and using our facilities, our locker rooms, and our school, so please keep everything secured. If you have any questions related to this presentation, please see me, Ms. Fiesler, your principal, or your coach. You can follow Pickerington North Athletics at PN Athletics. We keep up to date with a lot of our games, particularly around tournament time, and there are typically important announcements placed on there. Good luck this year. Thanks for your attention during this presentation, and go Panthers.